Which of the following is the most likely causative organism? I have a 28-year-old woman, clinic, complaining of vaginal itching and a thick white cottage cheese-like discharge. I could answer this question off that. You might recognize this from buzzwords, which is all of really what micro is buzzwords. But even though I'm 99% sure I know what the answer is, let's make sure and read the rest of the STEM and look at the rest of the answer choices. So she funded a 10-day course of broad spectrum antibiotics for a UTI. The exam shows erythema and edema of the vulva and the vagina with adherent white discharge. So what is the most likely organism? Likely think it's this one, but let's explain why it's some others first and come back to them. So Trichomonas. This likely, this causes your like green frothy discharge. Really doesn't have much to do with like the broad spectrum antibiotic portion of this, and just the discharge looks different. It's not white, so less likely. Gardnerella, not actually an STI. So this is bacterial vaginosis. This is like a gray, fishy odor. The buzzword for this one is clue cells. So I don't see anything on here about that. So not likely. And then chlamydia and gonorrhea. This definitely, they can be asymptomatic, but also can cause mucopurulent discharge. Is not necessarily described as cottage cheese-like though, nor adherent. This is again very purulent. It's coming out, but not really white necessarily, and not cottage cheese-like. So based on what I have in the question stem, either I can't differentiate between chlamydia and Neisseria with everything that they gave me, and I can't have that. If both of these are, I need something more to differentiate between the two. If it really was just if they just said mucopurulent discharge instead of cottage cheese, they have to give me more. And since they don't, I know it can't be this. So again, green, frothy. This one is more gray, clue cells, whatnot. And this is mucopurulent discharge, not necessarily white, but also hard to differentiate between the two. So Canada, you see cottage cheese-like discharge, pick Canada and move on. I went through all the steps of why I ruled it and ruled out other things. But in terms of, why this is Canada as well, she was on antibiotics that wiped out your normal flora in the vaginal canal. And then we now have the emphasis of Canada because we wiped out some of that natural flora. So with Canada, the awesome part of the Sketchy Question Bank is that we have everything in here as well of why questions are right or wrong.